Hi, these are little cooking shortcuts with Chef Steve. I showed you earlier how to hold a knife, how to rock with the knife, never scrape with a knife, always use the back part of the blade, how to use the sharpening steel at a 90, 45, 22.5 degree angle, just to kind of straighten the edge. The same way when you use a sharpening stone, you would use it from a 90, 45, 22.5, and you go at that same angle to sharpen your knife. Now we're going to show you a dish. I'm going to make some quick little home fries. I showed you something earlier with using a red pepper. Now I have a green pepper. And a great way to work with the green pepper is to cut the bottom off, cut the top off this way. And I'm just going to make a slice like this. I have a plate. I can just open it up this way. You see, and just peel it back. Now I have a clean pepper, and that's my only waste right there. It's the most important part. Do not waste food. Okay, once I have the pepper, and I showed you something earlier, what I actually like to do is to take the pepper and cut the soft side of the pepper. Now I'm going to heat up a pan right now. We're going to make some home fries in about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to turn the power on. I have a little induction stove here I'm working with right now. Put some oil in. I have a bottle that's labeled canola oil. Very easy for me to work with, easy for me to transport with me when I do cooking demonstrations. And once I have it here, on an earlier episode I actually made some red peppers with some Bermuda onions. You can call them red onions, you can call them Bermuda onions. Okay? Once I have it here, I'm going to put it right into the pan itself. Okay? And cut the bottom. If you see it's too wide, I'm cutting the soft side of the pepper, not the waxy side of the pepper. I'm cutting the soft side, much easier to work with. Okay? Put the power up on here. Never move the item you're cutting, only move your hand back. When I'm cutting here, I don't push this. I just bring my hand back across. Okay? Once I have it here, I can make this a little bit finer diced if I wanted to. Because that's just cut in strips. That's actually a lot of green pepper. We'll take some of those out. Okay, so once we have those here, what I did is I bought some, these are Yukon Gold potatoes. There's really 2 types of potatoes. There's many different varieties. One is a high starch potato, one is a high moisture potato. A high starch, you go to a steakhouse, you have a baked potato, nice light and fluffy. You try to make a potato salad with it, a lot of times it falls right apart. These are high moisture potatoes, a Red Bliss, a Yukon Gold. Actually the skins are very thin, very edible, very nutritious also. I cooked it in a microwave in a small dish like this, a little casserole dish, a bit of water in there, just until it was tender. You can do that the night before. That's the trick about breakfast. There's a lot of things you do the day before. Our pan's getting hot. You'll do those things the day before, get ready, pre-cook things. Even you can blanch bacon if you wanted to, then just finish it off the next day. And I'll show you a trick with that in a couple seconds here. So I take a potato, I'm just going to cut it. I don't have to do too much of a uniform shape. I can just cut it to dice. That's a great thing about home fries. You see all different shapes. The good thing about home fries is that they're nice and crispy. Right, just going to add that right into my pan. I'm not going to use all these. Just cut it in pieces right here. People aren't going to be upset. They get a nice, delicious, tender home fry, a little crisp on the outside. You know, add some of those other peppers in there also. These are ones that are already cooked. So the potatoes already cooked. The only thing we actually cooked right now is some of the green pepper. I want to season these. A bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Remember, the trick to this is cooking these potatoes a day ahead of time. You can actually have these, you can do the potatoes ahead of time, just cube them, put them on a cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper or a piece of foil. Make sure you spray the foil. Spray the parchment also. And then instead of sauteing these the next day, what you can actually do is just bake them. And I'll show you when you can bake them, because what I also did, and one of the biggest tricks you ever learn in cooking right here, and when you go to a hotel or a restaurant or something, you see the chefs have a bacon. You say, how do they make the bacon strips so straight? Here's what they do. Even here, I went into the oven. Here's a great tip also. I only have one oven here at this house. So if I bake my bacon ahead of time, you see that? It's all in perfect little strips. And what I do is the heels of the bread. We learned how to flip an omelet earlier just by flipping the heel of the bread, a piece of bread. I take that heel, which my darn kids don't eat. I put them in the bottom of this pan, and what I can do is I can just take it right now and just slide underneath here. Now those are perfect pieces of bacon. You see that? Now I have perfect pieces of bacon right here. I could have poured that. I poured the bacon fat off earlier. If you want to actually cook with the bacon fat, you can do that. It's fine. So I'm not even afraid to put a little bit of water in here right now, because it'll crisp back up. I'll put a little splash. It's that technique we learned. We took a little pan of rice, and we'll put some rice inside. We put it on a piece of parchment paper. Our home fries are basically done. So now we'll turn this heat down. So now we're actually ready to make another dish. So we have our home fries. We'll put our home fries right here. And what we'll do now, I'm going to show you a great little cooking tip right now. We have our bacon ready. We have our home fries ready. We bake that bacon at about 400 degrees. Once we're done, we can turn it down to about 180 degrees, 200 degrees. Because the last thing we always do is make the eggs. The eggs are the last second thing. Whether we're making an omelet or we're making sunny side up, over easy, many different types. These will hold well. I have a disposable pan. That's your friend right there also. You can put your home fries in a disposable pan also. Just keep those warm. Warm up your platter later, put the things together. So once we have this, it's going to go right in here. A little bit of oil inside the pan, not too much. Just coat it some. In fact, if we have too much, what we can do, never pour any type of fat into the sink. Never. At home, never pour any fat in the sink. You know, I even have a habit when I make things like a veal parmesan or something, I go flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. I have all the extra oil left that I fried things in. I take those leftover breadcrumbs and I pour those into the fat to absorb it, and I end up throwing it into the trash can. Don't pour it in. Some people put it in a can. It's like, and you have this can of oil around. So I have a couple eggs right here. Okay, just going to crack the egg. Now once I have the egg inside, which is the last thing I'm actually going to cook, one of the yolks broke. That happens sometimes with that. That's okay. I'll eat that. I'll give my guests the most beautiful eggs. It doesn't matter. Once I have it here, I can put some salt and pepper. I'm going to turn this heat down some. And here's a little trick to do eggs over easy without going over. Here's what I mean. I have a little lid here. So to go over here, put a splash of water in there. You see? Just a little water. Just put it in my pan like this. Now I'm going to turn down the heat. Just let that simmer. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up my serving plate right now. So I'm going to grab a plate. And let's set up a little plate right now. So we have our home fries. Put the home fries right on the plate. Check it. They're over easy. You see it? So it created its own little top. Just by steaming the outside a little bit. It stuck a little bit here. I'm going to use this pan in a little while. We'll go right on top with the egg. Move that to the center here. We'll put some bacon pieces on there also. So we just made an over easy egg without going over with it. And that's just by steaming it. You can't steam it that long because you'll develop those proteins that will be kind of rubbery on you here. A little black pepper on top. You know something? Why don't we do something else special? We'll put have some watermelon slices right here. I'm going to put that to the side, just a touch. Okay. So now we have a eggs over easy with some bacon that we baked, some home fries that we made the potatoes the night before, and we have a little garnish. Now I could spread this out a little bit further to make it look more presentable. It's actually a fast and easy dish. It has a little garnish to the side right here. And that's a tip right there for your, I'll hold that up here for you. Okay, and we have the bacon, we have the home fries underneath, and we also have the eggs over easy that were actually never flipped. I just put a little bit of water inside the top of the lid and just poured it in just till they set up. And believe me, they're still wet. You can see them right here. The yolk is still runny. And that's a great little cooking tip for you. A little shortcut by Chef Steve on cooking eggs, baking bacon, the home fries. And our next series, we're actually going to show you how to make an omelet. That's it.